Hi, in this video we are going to see about how we can create, view or edit a question. Basically, when you want to create a programming test, there are three steps involved. The first step is we have to create the question. Second step is we have to create a test, and the third step is we have to schedule the test. If all these three steps are followed, then only the student will be able to see the test. Okay, so three steps I repeat: create a question, create a test, and the third step is scheduling a test. So now we will see how to create a test, and this is a vPurple login, and you have this programming test menu under which you have got programming. See, this is create. Under create you have got these many things. IPS PAT and all is related to test, and you have got three things for questions. First thing is programming question for self, next one is programming question for common pool, and next one is debugging question for common pool. Now we can choose this programming question for self. So it will ask you to choose the campus. So I have given as Chennai, and then title of the question, let me give it as Q1, and then I have to choose the course for which I am doing. I should be careful in choosing the course. I have to choose the course for which I am going to give the test. Okay. So I am going to give a question here, all the description. There is a format for the question itself. When you are giving it for an online judge, you have to give the description of the question followed by input format as well as the output format. I can show you a sample question by going into my login. So whenever we are going to give a question, we have to give the description, and then we have to give, it is very important that we have to give the input format and output format. This is common for all the online judges, because see, when we are writing code by ourselves and we are going to test means, we know what should be read first. When there are like some 2 or 3 input that has to be read from the user knows that first input will be, for example, I am writing a program for computing simple interest. If I am the program writer as well as if I am the tester, I know that first parameter I have to read is principal, second one will be number of years, and the third one will be rate of interest, right? And someone else, if some other person is writing the code, they may read it in a different order as per their wish. They may read first number of years and then principal and then rate of interest, and some other person may read it in a different order, right? It depends on the individual perspective, so that they will have variable name appropriately and so on. Of course, simple interest will be same even if the order is changed. Consider the case of a compound interest. Compound interest formula, each and every parameter has its own significance and we cannot change it. That's very important, right? So many problems, the order in which we read the input is going to be very important. So the input format is going to say the order in which we are going to give the input in the test case. When we are going to give a test case, you have to specify what is the input for the test case and what is the output that is they are expecting, right? So this input format will say that the first argument will be like this. For example, we can read here, for this problem I have given first line contains the number of elements, and I am saying this is n. I am just giving a name for the variable n. Next line contains the element in the collection separated by a space. So you have to describe your way of giving the input, so that the user, so that the student can understand how he has to read the input. So this is very important that we have to do. And output format, similarly this is also very important, and these things are common for all the online judges. If you go to HackerRank or HackerYet or CodeChef, whatever may be the online judge, this input format and output format we should follow. So in output format you will be saying how the user should print the output. Multiple outputs can be expected sometimes. In that case we have to say that the first line should contain this, the second line should contain that, like that, okay. And also whether they have to give a space in between or tab in between, because the output matching will be very case sensitive as well as space sensitive. So this format should be clearly given for the students. And after giving the question clearly, we have to give a group ID. Please make it very clear that this group ID is going to be used while we form the test, and we have to give it with conscious. Okay, we have to use it when we are going to do it for the test. And for example, now I am going to give the group ID is 1. Okay, and generally here we will display what is the maximum group ID used. Since this is a new user, the maximum group ID used is 0. You can either give the same group ID that is used till now or one higher than that. The system will not allow you to give other than this. Okay, so the group ID used till now is 0. Now I am giving 1. Next parameter is how much of time your code, your problem it may expect a code to run. Okay, why this is asked is if a user is by mistake writing an infinite loop, right, and then it should not be running on the server for a longer time, right. We should terminate and give this feedback to the user. So this particular value what we are going to give, generally I will give 1 or 2 because it is going to run on the server, and that server is very lightly loaded, so it will run pretty fast. We need not go beyond it. Maybe Java, like that Java code or some bigger codes may require some more time. Maximum time we allow is only 10 seconds. So you have to give based on the complexity of your problem, you have to give the number of seconds that the solution may require to find the solution, find the answer. And then after this we have to choose the language. Here I am going to choose it as Python. And then what is the difficulty? This is your choice based on the complexity of the question. You can give either easy, medium or hard. And this PAC chart is actually the full form of PAC is problem analysis chart. What is the purpose of this chart is it will be helpful for the student to analyze the problem and fill. When you say yes, generally for class, for lab we will give this as yes. This is writing in observation. In the observation what do? We ask the students to write out what is the input, what is the output, what is the algorithm, and if sometimes we will ask them to draw flow chart, and then sometimes we will ask them to manually work out. Okay, those things can be given. There will be text boxes when you say yes, so students can write it. So generally for lab we give yes. And marks, how many marks you are going to give for this particular question. Okay, don't touch this code outline for now, right. I will describe when it will be useful in a separate lecture. So only this part is enough. Now we have to click create. When you click create, the question will be created and it will be waiting for you to add the test cases. Click on the add test case button and now we will give the input. Now I am going to give the input like adding 2 numbers. So I will give 1, 2, and then what should be the output? 3 should be the output. And we have got 2 types of test case, public test case and private test case. What are public test cases are? When the user is submitting the code, if that particular test case fails, then we will display to the user that this is wrong, this is the input, this is the expected output, your program output is this. Like that we will show to the user so that he can understand what is his mistake and do corrections. Okay, so by default it will be private, so I want to make it public, so I am clicking this and save. And next again I am going to create another one test case, right, and I am going to give it as output, and now I want it to be private test case. So what are private test cases are? If this particular test case fails, it will not show this is the input, this is the expected output, like that. Okay, it will just say private test case fail. Why we have got 2 types of test cases? Because we do not want the student to fool the system. If every test case is exposed to the student, then he may fool the system by just writing if then, and then he may break the system, right. That should not happen. So we are not going to give all the test cases private, and the system will check when we are creating the test. The system will check whether each problem has got at least 1 public and 1 private. That kind of validation we make before we create a test. And one more thing we do is we do not allow the input to be same. So, for example, I am trying to give the same input. This is the input which I gave first. Okay, I am trying to create the same input. Now, it will say that test cases cannot be same. All these validations we have done for the betterment of the field of the faculty. Okay, so I have created one question. I am going to create next question. Now, I have to say, okay, question number 2. I can say like question 2. Now, look at the group ID has changed from 0 to 1. Maximum group ID is 1. Now, if I want to put in the same group, then I will say 1. Okay, and what is the maximum time limit? 2. And then what language? Python. And then difficulty, let it be easy. PSC chat I am going to give his, and marks 10 I am giving create. Now, I have to give the test cases. I am going to give like multiplication. So, 1, 3, 1 into 3 is 3. So, adding a test case. Next 2, 6, 2 6 are 12. So, make it as a private test case. Now, we have got 2 questions with group ID 1. Let me create another one question. Now, I am going to give a different group ID. Okay, so 2 questions are under group ID 1. Now, I am creating third question under different group ID. Okay, and time also I am going to give us 2 and Python, right, and I am going to give 1 minute. PSC is S and marks is 5. Let me give like subtraction. So, I will say 2 minus 1 is 1. 1 public test case, minimum 1 public test case and private test case. You can give n number of test cases. There is no restriction on the number, but at least 1 public and 1 private should be there. So, when I give 3 1, output will be 2. Okay. So, now I want to see the questions that I have created. You can go here to the view menu. So, under programming test, go to view and click on question. So, it will take to this page. Yeah. Now, you can see the questions created. You can see your question group ID will be added with your employee ID. This is the sample employee ID I have created. It will just put your employee ID hyphen your group ID, right? That is internally stored. Don't bother about it. You have to use it one day as 1 2. I make it again clear. This is for our internal reference that we bind your employee ID with the group ID, but you should use only as 1 2. You don't have to do anything with this. Okay, so this is how your question is here, and now I have to create a test. Okay, before that I will show you how to do a preview of the question. So this is the preview button. So when you click this preview button, what will happen is you will see how the question will appear for the student, right? This is how it is going to appear. He has to choose a language, okay, and he has to type some code. Okay, let me just print something and check, right, and then you will come down and execute the code. When you execute the code, you can see that the public test case fails. Okay, so it is saying input is 2 1, expected output is 1, but your program output is hello, right? So now what I can do is I can try to print, actually for the public test case you want 1 as the output. So a brilliant student will try to say 1, right? Now when I say the output is 1, that is when I try to print 1, this test case will get passed. The output of the program and the output expected will be same. So this will pass, but private test case will fail. Okay, so now when he tries to execute the code, you will see that private test case fail, right? This is how we are able to handle, we are able to do some kind of prevention from fooling the system. And next important thing that you should be aware and also communicate to the students is, this is for the students to have knowledge of the portal and how they can do by themselves. see, when you are going to click the execute button, when the students are going to click the execute button, the code will be executed for the test cases that is loaded for the problem by the faculty. Okay. Sometimes we will feel that first I should check with my own input, then let me check with the test cases that is being loaded. In that case, what the student can do is he can click on this particular button. As soon as he click on this button, two boxes will get open. He can give his one things, right? He can give like 1 to 1 like this, and when he clicks the button, now it will check whether the output which is given in this output box will be matched with the output of the code, right? But this will not be the success of the code. Anyway, he has to pass the test cases loaded by the faculty. This is just to check. Sometimes when they are solving bigger problems, they want to check whether intermediate results are correct or not. In that case, they can use these options very well. So you have to just inform the students that this is one way of checking their code with their own input and output. So coming back, so you can see the group ID. There are two questions with group ID 1 and one question with group ID 2. Now I am going to just remember this. Next we will see how to, in the next video we will be seeing how to form a test. Before that, if you want to edit the question, and one more thing is, even if students are writing the test, by that time you feel that you have to add some more lines for clarity or something, then definitely you can do it. Immediately it will get reflected. Only thing is they have to refresh the question, that's all. You can go and add here something, okay. For example, I can type something and I can calm down and update the question. That is possible. And also we can update the test case when the test is going on. If you need to update, okay, then that is also possible. You can update when the student clicks next time, immediately he will be finding the new test case. That is also definitely possible, right? Okay, this is how we can load the questions and we prepare. Thank you.